Yeah, you know how we need to combat radical Islam? It's preaching the gospel, not burning Korans. That's troubling. I mean, anytime I hear burning books of any kind, you know, there was a distribution of New Testaments in Israel last year, the year before, and one of the towns, it's an assistant mayor that had to take responsibility, was actually burning the New Testaments. And there was an outcry because this is what Jewish people endured during the Holocaust, the burning of our books. Martin Luther actually said they should burn their sacred books. We don't burn any books as true believers. It's the gospel that's salt that changes things. You want to add to that, Pastor?
Well, it's just, to me, it's just provoking. You know, I think of that verse, you know, fathers don't exasperate your children or whatever. To me, this is kind of just, this like intentional provoking and, you know, we're to overcome evil with good. That doesn't mean we lay down, okay? Yes. But I think of a deal like this, there's just I don't see any wisdom in that. All I see is like we're going to be, you know, just as weird as you are, you know, type of thing.
We Jews don't like burning of any kind. It's in our kitchen. We don't like burn anything. Don't even burn garbage.
You know what, Jenny? I understand the pastor's anger and frustration, especially when you read verses in the Koran, for example. One of them says in one of the surahs, do not take the Jews and Christians as friends, for in the hereafter they will be among the losers. So I'm sure he's upset that in that book, it calls believers in Jesus losers. At the same time, I can't think of even one instance where anyone has been argued or intimidated or slapped into the kingdom of God. And that's why I would agree with our panel over here. I don't think the way to do it is fighting fire with fire. I think
throw away newspapers then too, because we're called losers every day in newspapers.
Exactly. But I think that perhaps the way to do it is this: that if we really want to make an impact on the Islamic community, one of the things that we've got to remember is it actually talks about Jesus in their Quran, but in their Quran, it actually refers to him as Isa. And it says in their Quran that not Muhammad, but only Isa is holy, and only Isa knows the way to paradise. So perhaps the operative issue here is to say to a Muslim, did you know in your Quran it talks about someone named Isa? It says if you want to get to paradise, only he knows the way. Shouldn't you get to know a little bit more about him? To which they would say yes. And then you could say, you know, we have this book that tells you the rest of the story about your Isa. In this book, it's the same one. His name is Jesus. Why don't you read it?
It's the Jewish way, education.
Exactly.
Education.